So, I realized recently that just because you're working doesn't mean that you're actually getting work done. I could say that I'm working 12 hours a day, but really only getting like an hour or two of quality inputs in and tasks done. So, that's what I'm realizing is that it's not about how long you claim you're working, it's about how focused you are and how much quality you put into the work tasks that you're doing. And so today I'm going to talk to you about how you can work deeper and forget about the time aspect of working and instead focus more on the actual work itself and get more out of the work. So I'm going to go over some reasons that you don't work deeply and that you work shallowly. And these are just reasons that I've found that I don't work deeply sometimes and I work shallowly. And then also, I'm going to go over some tools that might be able to help you just work a little bit deeper and get more out of the work that you're doing. So, the first reason that I've found that I don't work deeply is because when I'm doing the task, I have a lot of doubts. And so, like, I have this high expectation of what I need to get done, and I have this high expectation of the output and the outcome that I want to achieve. But that's where my mind is at when I'm doing the task. And so say I'm doing the task and I feel like I'm not doing too well in the task, then I might start to have some doubts and start questioning myself, like, am I really doing the right thing? Like, should I even really be doing this? And so that's what I realized. Like, I'll give you an example of this. So when I first started my social media marketing agency, when I was in my full-time job, that was a business model that I was trying at the time. But I would have to cold call people. And so during those times that I had to be cold calling people, I would be questioning, like, should I actually really be doing this business model? Like, do I even really want to do this? And so a lot of doubts came up, and my mind was on that instead of the actual task at hand. So when you're doing a specific task that you set for yourself, say it's cold calling or writing something or working on a project, you might have some doubts and some lack of confidence when you're doing it. And so that would be the first reason that you sometimes don't work deeply. And another reason is because you don't have a routine. You are doing these tasks just at different times. Like for me, say I was recording videos sometimes in the mornings, and then say sometimes I was recording videos at night, and say sometimes I did it midday on certain days, there would be no predictability. And because there's no predictability, it becomes a lot harder to stay focused when you're actually doing the task. Like, when I'm doing the video at different times, my mind has no way to like recognize like when I'm actually doing it. And so there's no repeatable pattern. And so that's another reason that you're not working as deep as you can, because you don't have a specific schedule of when you're going to do these tasks. Another reason that you don't work deeply is because your expectations are way too high. So for me recently, I tell myself that, I got to work the 12-hour days. I have to work all day, every day. And so I have this high expectation of how much time I need to work, but my mind is like thinking about that. It's like an ego thing almost, like, I have to work 12-hour days because that's what top entrepreneurs do, and that's what the best entrepreneurs do. They work all day, every day. And so when I don't meet up to that, and when I kind of get distracted, then it's like I set the expectation way too high, and now I'm not meeting that expectation. So really what it's about is lowering your expectation and being more appreciative of, like, say you get a paragraph in your YouTube script, or you make that cold call, make that one quality cold call. It's about the tasks and it's about the quality inputs. It's not about how much time you work or it's not about having high expectations. So that was a mindset shift for me, and that helps me work a little bit deeper. And then another main reason that you don't work deeply is because you get distracted easily. So this is a big thing for me sometimes, and you think that you're working. You think that just because you're sitting down and claiming that you're working, you're getting work done. But sometimes you'll be doing this, you'll be sitting down and working, but then you click over to a different tab, or you start doing some research uninvolved with what you're doing. And so we have a lot of distractions, and distractions are really what is taking away from the depth of the work that we're doing, and really taking away from the quality that we're getting out of the work. So for me, like sometimes I'll be writing my YouTube script, and then I'll click over to my YouTube channel to just like check and see if there's any new notifications, or I'll click over to my community, my online community, and see if anything's going on in there. But the thing is, it's that even though those things may seem important and productive, I'm getting distracted, and those actions repeatedly of me clicking there, are taking away from the actual work I'm doing. So distractions are huge. And then also your environment. Your environment can be very distracting. Like if you have junk all over the place, if your room is unorganized or your office is unorganized, if there's water bottles everywhere, then your mind is going to be there. Your mind is going to be on other things as opposed to the work that you're doing. So now that you know like some reasons that you get distracted, some reasons that you aren't working as deeply as you can, I'm going to just give you some basic tools that you can use to start working deeper and start getting more out of the actual work you're doing. And the first one is having a schedule. The first one is like setting a specific time every day to do that task that you need to do. So for me, like when I was doing the cold calls for my like marketing agency, it would be important for me to set a specific time that I do them. And then my mind just kind of recognizes it more. My mind recognizes that, oh, I do the cold calls at this time, and then I do the cold calls at this time. There's not really any like doubts or thinking of when I need to do it. And it just eliminates that overthinking aspect. And then also get in a routine of finishing tasks. You know, remember, it's not about how long you're working. It's about the quality of the inputs, and it's about the quality that you put into the task that you're doing. So make sure to just become more task oriented and get in a habit of completing tasks. Like if you have to, just, you know, reward yourself for doing the small tasks. Like, and that's a mindset that I'm having more recently, is like every YouTube video that I make counts. It's a task. Every like script that I write counts, and that's a task. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the 12-hour days. It's that I'm getting more out of the work that I'm doing by being more focused and just completing the tasks. So maybe that mindset can help you. And some last things you can work on is turning off your notifications. So whenever you have like a work session, or you have like a task that you have to complete, like I said, like cold calls, or, you know, I'm not sure what your work task is specifically, but if it's writing, whatever it is, then turn off your notifications when you're doing that work session, and it will be less likely that you go over to your phone, and less likely that these notifications take your attention away from what you're doing. And so you can even put your phone in a different room if you have to. That helps me. I mean, I keep it in my room, but I keep it away from me. So just keep your phone away from you while you're working. And then this is a pretty important one, but try meditating before your work session. So I talk about meditation a lot, but really what this does is it allows you to be more aware of like where your thoughts are at when you're working. And it also allows you to gain more like calmness and just like a better energy. And so when you're working, if you have this more calm energy and you're less distracted and you're more aware of your thoughts and distractions, then it will help you. So maybe try a meditation session before you work for the day or before your work task even. And then lastly, just clean up your workspace. Like, get rid of your water bottles, get rid of like dust, wipe the dust off, like make it as organized as you can. Get rid of the wires if you can. Organize the wires, find a place for everything. Like, I have a organization bin now that I put my like wires in and chargers and that type of stuff. And that's really helped because it gets it off my desk and I don't really have to see it while I'm working. And so, yeah, these are some things that you can do to start actually getting more out of the work that you're doing. And so your like output of the work that you're doing, of the inputs that you're doing, is going to be way better, and it's going to be less distracted. So also just remember that just because you're technically like working, if you're at work or you work like 8 hours a day or 12 hours a day, it doesn't mean that you're actually working. Working means that you're getting tangible outputs and you're like completing actual tasks. And so that's what your focus needs to be. Not about the amount of time that you're working, but it's about the quality of the tasks that you're doing and how much effort you're putting into the tasks. So that's a new mindset shift for me, and maybe that can help you out. So yeah, hopefully this provided some type of value. I just started a new community, and it's a place where you can go and learn more about gaining control of your time. And you can also network with like-minded, ambitious people. So people who are leaders, people who are looking to like grow and level up. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can check out the link in the description. Thanks for watching.